everyone, welcome back to Tila Fashion. Today's video is going to be a tutorial on this halter neck backless top. So on this tutorial, I'm going to go ahead to draft the pattern for the top, cut the pattern on fabric, and then go ahead to sew the top. So make sure to stick around and I'm going to take you through all of this process. Now I'm putting down my reference lines, that is the bust line, under bust line, and waistline. The waistline is also the full length of the top, and I'm going to add 0.5 inch as half an inch to the full length for seam allowance. Now go ahead to mark out the neckline, and for the width of the neckline I'm using 2.2 inches, and these measurements are on fold, so when you open that up it will be 4.4 inches, and for the length of the neckline I'm using 2.5 inches. So because of the style we're looking to achieve, I don't want the neckline to be too wide. That is why I picked these measurements. Now I'll go over to the darts. For the width of the darts, I'm picking 4.5 inches, and I'll just extend that line to the under bust line. And the dart is going to be 1 inch wide. That is half inch to the left and to the right of the dart line. Now I can go ahead with the round measurement. So I'll take the bust circumference, that's the round bust, divide it by 4, and whatever I get I'll just add 1 inch seam allowance. Then I'll come over to the waistline, divide my waist circumference by 4, but before adding my 1 inch seam allowance, I'm going to add back the 1 inch that we took from the dart, so our measurements will not be short when we're done sewing. Now I can go ahead to connect the armhole. But before connecting the armhole, I just want to extend my bust line. Just do a little extension from my bust line because I don't want the armhole to come too low so it doesn't end up exposing my boobs. So I'll just take that up by 1 inch, and then I can connect the neckline to that point to form the armhole. One very important step in making a halter neck top is the dart at the armhole. This step is very important because the dart creates cups. It gives the illusion of cups and it prevents the armhole area from being like too flappy or having excesses around that area. So I measured that to be 2.5 inches away from the corner there, and the dart is 1 inch wide and is also 2.5 inches long. So this is what I have now for the front piece, and I'll just go ahead to extend these lines so I can cut out the back piece. So you can see the little triangular things that I did at the dart there, and that is so that when I'm sewing it will just be easier for me to locate where the darts are supposed to be. So I'll just go over to flip over the front piece so I can trace out the back piece, and I'm taking a zip allowance of 1 inch and I'll just trace out the rest. Now I'll just go ahead to mark out the darts on the back piece too. So this is what I have after cutting on fabric. So I cut the front piece on fold, and I cut out the lining for that too, and I cut out 2 pieces for the back piece with 2 pieces of lining too for the back piece. So onto sewing, the first step is I'm going to go ahead to sew all the darts on the fabric and on the lining pieces separately. After sewing the darts on the front piece, you can already see how the dart has given it a nice shape, giving it the illusion of cups, and it has just taken form now. And this is the back piece. This is how it's looking after I'm done sewing the darts. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make the fabric and the lining front side facing each other. Then I'm going to go ahead to sew the top and the bottom, and also top stitch, turn it inside out, and then iron flat. Okay, so now I can come back to the front piece, and what I'm going to do now is to turn this front side facing each other, and I'm going to go ahead to sew the armhole first, and then top stitch and iron flat. So now we're left with the neckline, the sides and the bottom. So before sewing the neckline, I went ahead to make these straps that will be attaching, and I'm just putting the straps inside so that I can sew it together with the neckline. So I put them inside now, and then I'll just go ahead to sew them together with the neckline, and then I would notch this. You can go ahead to top stitch this after notching it, but it's quite hard. You can try to, but I just went ahead to iron this flat. So after turning this inside out, this is what I have now. I've gone ahead to iron it flat also. So now what I'm going to do is to sew in the bottom. So I'll just turn it inside out, sew the bottom, top stitch, turn it back inside out, and then iron flat. I was able to turn it inside out through the sides, and then I went ahead to sew the sides flat. Now I'll just go ahead to join the front piece to the back piece with the 1-inch seam allowance that we took, and then I'll go ahead to attach the zip. So this is the type of zip I'll be using. It is detachable zip, so the top can be easy to wear, and this is actually long. I went ahead to cut it short to fit the top. So I'll be attaching this zip with the 1-inch that we took for the zip allowance. So this is the final look. Thank you guys so much for watching till the end. I hope it was helpful. If it was helpful in any way, please don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section and I'll do well to answer all of them. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in my next video.